What's good, guys? It's Scott here from Barsco Garage, and today I'm working on my 1977 ZH Fairlane. The first thing I'm going to do is clean up the door cards, change them out for the old ones, and then I'm going to continue on with some other little jobs that I've been meaning to do for a while, so let's get to it. So I ended up replacing a few of these little plastic clips that click into the back here. The original ones are the black ones. I had a couple of the little white ones hanging around, so I've been using those. I'm going to grab one more from the door card that I'll pull out. But yeah, other than that, most of them were pretty much intact. Guys, just a bit of a hot tip that I learned the other week. If you are removing door trims and stuff like that and you haven't got the little plastic removal tools, grab yourself some of your electrical tape and just one of your screwdrivers and just put that there. It's going to lessen any damage that you do to the door cards when you're pulling them off. Probably better for plastic rather than wood and vinyl, but definitely a top tip. Alright guys, so the new door cards are in. I gotta say, they're old, they're worn, but they're a million times better than the set that came out. I've got the other ones now as spares. Maybe later on I'll get them recovered later years. The rear right's absolutely fantastic. The carpet came up nice and soft as well. It's yellowed a bit, but it's still pretty good. I was looking online, and you can still order the center caps. So I've got caps coming in the mail. So obviously you can't see it hides the screw. So they just kind of stick on the top there. They're on their way. So when they come in, I'll definitely give you guys a peep at those. Nice and cheap as well. Always make sure to shop around. The left side here as well came up pretty good as well. Same thing with the rear. And speaking of ordering parts, I've also managed to order myself one of the new interior dome lights. So this one here, nice and easy to replace. It's just 4 screws in the middle that drops out. Wire the new one back up, pop it back in, 4 screws, as well as a lens cover, which this one hasn't had. So that's another little part that's on its way as well. They'll probably be here for the next video. When they get in, I will put them in. Probably won't record myself doing it, but I'll definitely show the finished product. But overall, I gotta say, I am happy with the door cards. I'm happy with the money that I paid for them. And now that I've got a set of spares as well, I just think it'll be a lot better going forward. But no, I'm chuffed. So if you guys have seen the first episode I did on this car, you'll know the absolute hatred and disdain that I have for this CD player. You may be able to even tell that I have broken it since you last saw it. That is because I was in here, and usually, I don't know what you call the outside of CD players, or it's that casing that the CD player usually slides into, and it's the piece that you usually just get 2 bits of wire and shove it down the sides, and it'll eject the player out for you, unplug it, and you're on your way. 20-second job, shouldn't think twice about it. True to form, there is always something else to something else, which means that the way that he's mounted this will never just pop out. He's put a screw through the plastic from, I'm assuming he's taken out the glove box to drill that into the side, and that's what's holding in this CD player or DVD player or whatever it was. So I lost my cool with it, ended up pulling off the face, so that's broken anyway, not that I care. It's going in the bin for sure. With that being said, now I've either got to pull everything apart either side of the dash to get to 2 screws to pull out this bloody CD player, or my method right now, I'm trying just to break everything in here and just pull it out till I can get to these screws and maybe get a Dremel or a little angle grinder in there or something like that, just to chop it out. I mean, it's extremely loose, but that's because it's just pivoting on these 2 screws that are on the side. Alrighty, so a little bit of an update. I managed to, because who wants to do a job properly, get my flathead screwdriver in there, and while I was definitely taking care of this original bit of the dash and not putting it under any stress at all, managed to wiggle that side out. Alright, so persistence is key. don't ever quit. Or if you feel like quitting, brute force is another one. So I ended up just getting these bad boys, and you can see that nut in there. I just shoved it in the side and just clipped it down on that. I think I've like broke my hand, but it's out. Well, it's coming out. I wanted you guys to be here for the final bit. Now I'll do it one-handed. I should have preempted this. It's stuck now. It is out. It is going in the bin. Big bloody hole there now, but you know what? Original stereo. Don't even care if it works or not. I'm gonna buy one and just sit it in there. No more touchscreen DVD player. This can go in the bin. I will say, however, though, the gift that keeps on giving is when I pulled it out, I found the Australian Ford history of the Falcon XD and XE. So it's not all bad. It gifted me a final parting gift. Now to pop it in the bin. Cool. So with that gone, you can kind of see how the dash will come together. I do like my little aftermarket heat temperature sensor that I was speaking about in the first video as well. It saved the life of the car at one point, so I feel like it's deserved a spot there. It's also not bothering me. You know, I'm not against technology altogether. I just don't like ruining the look of these classic cars. But you can see, just with a normal stock stereo in the middle there, whether it works or not, I don't really care. I'll just find a way to mount it in. If it doesn't work, it can just sit there and look pretty. But it'll look a lot better, even if I have to whack a little screw through this one just to get it to hold. But it cleans it up so much more. Like if it's sat there, I think that's a nice little setup. Alrighty guys, so this afternoon here, I just noticed, checked the mail, and I got the little window winder caps in that I was speaking about earlier in the video. Pretty much just these little silver discs here. They got the 3M tape on the back. They're nice and sticky, so you just whack them over the middle there, and off you go. I think they look a lot smarter than how it looks without them. So I'll run around now and do all four. I'm going to leave the driver's side one off just for now, because I do see myself taking off that card again at some point in the future. Alrighty guys, welcome back. So coronavirus has taken over now fully, so I might be doing these videos a lot more. So yeah, just a small job this afternoon just to get back into it before I do the trunk carpet. Just had to put the accelerator back on this one. So I've been driving it around just on the stick for a good while, and just knocking over the interior jobs like I have been. This one pretty much, if anyone is doing this, it just has a bolt that slides through, just goes through that way. So I'll do that now. Nothing exciting, but obviously kicking off and keeping going with the interior. It's absolutely looking smick. Nice and easy. So just tighten that screw just behind there. You can kind of see on the edge, you just got that little cut out there. You just stick the screwdriver straight through there and put the bolt in the back, and voila, just like that, we've got a working accelerator. A little bit of flex in it, but not too bad. Keep an eye on that one and make sure she's tight, but other than that, all fixed. Alright guys, so I'm running out of light here fast, although I don't think that this will take a lot of time. So I just wanted to show you really quickly. This is a new carpet that I bought. I just ended up getting this one from Bunnings. It's a small, very fine, like loop pile carpet. It was about $17 per metre. I got 1.5 meters of it. Old mate gave me a little bit extra, I can tell. I've just put this old piece on the top, obviously as a bit of a stencil. Kind of even that out a little bit. I might even give it a vacuum before I chuck it in. Obviously this bit has been sitting outside, so it's kind of dirtying up my new piece. But what I'm going to do is just kind of treat all of like the small cut edges just more as a hard edge, and kind of just cut around it, and we'll see how we go from there. But I think other than that, gonna have a little bit left over. I might use that for floor mats or just spares. I might even just chuck it under the original carpet, so if I ever do end up putting stuff in the back, I can kind of just pull the overcut on the top and kind of spare what's beneath. But other than that, I think it's going to fit well, and for the money, I can't argue. Alright, so that's a full stencil cut out there. I did have a little bit of leftover carpet, but I'll use that all for something else anyway. But I'm really happy with how that kind of turned out. I hope it made sense with what I was doing. So any kind of soft edges or anything like that, I was just treating as a hard edge. And then if I do chuck it in the boot or whatever, and it turns out that it needs a bit of a trim, it's a lot better though. It's a lot better than what was in there. So before it gets completely dark, I'm going to chuck this one in. I'm going to run down to the post office, to my postal locker, and grab the ashtray that I would have received this afternoon and put that one in. Alrighty guys, so that's the finished product there. You can see I've still got a little bit of trimming up towards the top there just to get it completely smick. But that covers up the long range fuel tank perfectly. It looks a million times better in person than it comes up on camera. I've got a little bit to trim up there as well. But I'm really happy with that for 17 bucks. So tomorrow I'll just get the Stanley knife and just kind of cut round anywhere. It kind of hangs over the edge a little bit. It is 2 meter wire carpet, and this trunk floor would probably be a little bit less than that altogether. But it fits perfect. It's nice and snug. It needs a bit of a vacuum and stuff like that, but for the money, I'm absolutely stoked with how it came out. Alright guys, so it is a little bit later on. I went to the post office and then obviously just came home and had a quick feed and stuff like that. But before I wrap up this video and get to other things on this car, I just wanted to show you my little $12 buy. So originally the guy wanted $30 for this. I sent him a cheeky offer of 12 bucks. He accepted it. He sent it to me. That's what I picked up this afternoon. And you know what? Like, I'm absolutely stoked, first off, that it's the same color as my original center console. And also that I got it for so cheap. So shout out to him. Obviously he's keeping the bill going. I ended up using, I recently parted a VR Commodore. So that's the cigarette lighter out of VR Commodore, and that's just some GM screws. They fit perfectly in the center console for the ZH. This one here just kind of slides in as so. Push that little bit down, and that's the full kit there. So listen, I'm absolutely stoked. I was thinking about touching up the paint and stuff like that, but I thought for now, it's a means to an end. It's something that was missing from the car that I thought that I might not be able to find. So I'm really, really, really happy that I managed to find an original piece to go in there. Same with the cigarette lighter. I may later years try and find a ZH1 or an XC Falcon one, just something a little bit similar, more period correct. However, it fills the hole for now, and everything's where it's meant to be. So other than that, that kind of wraps up the video on the interior itself. I have ordered the dome light, so I may include that just in the next video, as well as I got the center caps for my door cards. So everything's kind of coming together. Of course, I'm still looking for a stereo. With that being said, I'm not gonna rush out and buy the first one that I see. There's a few floating around, but they have certain issues with them. They're missing the buttons, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna keep hunting around and try and find one from either a ZH or an XC. See what will fit. But yeah, other than that, if I can't find anything, to be honest, for the meantime, I'll probably just leave it vacant. I'm not overly bothered about putting a stereo in this thing. I'd love to neaten up the dash, don't get me wrong, but it's not a, you know, there's more important things with this car, to be honest. But other than that, to finish it off, I am absolutely stoked with my new door cards. I'm happy with my little cheeky buy that I got. I also ordered the wood grain bit for the center console that goes around the T-bar. That's here as well. I ended up picking that up the other day when it came in the post. So in the next video, I'll definitely be putting that one on. There's just a few little things that I have to sort out center console wise before I plonk that one down. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. The next couple videos I'll be focusing more on the bodywork and the mechanical side of things, just doing little touch-up jobs and getting it ready to go. And then other than that, my mighty ZH is probably almost ready to go back on the road. There's not really a lot more that I have to do with this car. I'll always be looking out for parts with it, or parts for it, I should say. But with that being said, guys, please follow along. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.